Hello there everybody, Sam'sTrains here, welcome back to the railway. What? Oh, am I too close again? Hey, what do you mean tone it down? I'm not yelling. Alright, let's try this. Hello there everybody, Sam'sTrains here, and welcome back to the railway, and welcome to the 2020 guide to model railwaymanship. Now, the uninitiated among you may be wondering, what is a model railwayman? Model railwaymanship is a class of person. It's more than just a status, it's a symbol, it is a way of life. There are railway modelers out there, there are model train enthusiasts, and when the public see those people, they don't think, there goes a cool guy, they think, oh, there goes a slightly sad guy. That isn't true with model railwaymen. Model railwaymen have an elevated status. They can go out in public and they can be brave and they can say, yes, I am a model railwayman and I partake in the fantastic, gorgeous hobby of model railways. When faced with a model railwayman, the public bow down to them as though they were a master race, which of course they are. It's a status, it's a symbol. It's also an achievement. You cannot wake up one morning and decide that you are going to become a model railwayman. It takes years of practice. You have to talk the talk and walk the walk. And today I'm going to help you to do that by showing you the 5 things that you need in order to become a celebrated model railwayman. The first thing is, of course, the model railway itself. Now, this is quite a difficult one to explain, I think, because of course just regular railway modelers, you know, the common dirt of this hobby, model train enthusiasts, they often have model railways as well. But I'll put it to you like this, it's not enough just to have a model railway. That doesn't automatically make you a model railwayman. But of course what is true is that you cannot become a model railwayman, you can't achieve that status without having a model railway. And so I'm going to show you today how you can build a layout in a very, very tiny space. Let me show you what I've got planned here. So this object to you might very well look like just a plank of wood. But if I'm being entirely honest with you, that is exactly what this is. But today it is going to be our baseboard. And don't worry about it, yes, that is enough space. So the first thing then, now model railways usually tend to be based on a real place, okay? So I think I've made my decision on mine. My model railway journey started at my grandma's house. That's when I first caught the bug for model railways. So I've decided that I'm going to try and model that rough area. So with that in mind, we're going to put the first piece in place, and that is of course the carpet. Now I'm going to be modelling my grandma's living room, and so for that I have selected this really quite hideous purple carpet, which is just like the carpet that she used to use. Now I'm going to fix this carpet to the baseboards. At the moment I am filming this pretty early in the morning and my next door neighbours are asleep right on the other side of that wall over there. So I'm going to have to find a way to do this incredibly quietly so as not to disturb them. Okay, so the job is done. As you can see, some of the nails are sticking out. That was quite typical of my grandma's carpet. None of that stuff matters. I mean, depending on which room you're going to model, you could add different bits of furniture, you could add armchairs and that sort of thing. The one thing that every model railway, of course, does need is the carpet. And for the carpet, that is a big tick. And just in front of the fireplace was a long straight of track. So this is the piece that is sort of connecting the curves. So as you can see, this is just going to be a long straight layout. Although as a model railway and not a train set, we do have to do this properly. We're going to make it permanent, try and make this last a little while. So here's my method of subtly fixing the track to the baseboard. Okay, there we go. So as you can see, I have just used the one nail to secure my track because I'm not entirely sure whether I'm going to keep this track set up or I might change my mind later on. But as you can see, it is fine. It's not going to go anywhere like that. You can use any way you like. If you're going to use nails, obviously make sure you're not using nails that are so big that they will damage the track. As you can see by my example though, the track is absolutely fine and it's also perfectly level, which is fantastic. Obviously the locos are really going to enjoy running on that level track. Okay, but before any locos can run, we obviously need to install some power through this power track. So for that, we are going to need a controller. So let's talk controllers then, and the controller is the first opportunity for you to set yourself apart from the run-of-the-mill railway modeler. So the railway modeler, the standard guy, might just buy one, right? The problem there though is that they cost several pounds, they're pretty expensive, and they're also quite complicated. There's circuitry inside them which can go wrong. The model railwayman would not do that. The model railwayman, as you can probably guess, would make his own. And that's what we're going to do today. I am going to show you how to make your own model railway controller very, very cheaply. All you're going to need is this. This is the power track wire, which connects your model railway to the controller. And then the other thing you will need is, of course, this, the mains plug. Now, to be absolutely serious for just a second, if you do this at home, you will blow up your model trains and you'll probably kill yourself. So do not try this at home under any circumstances. So here goes. I'm going to show you how to safely, that's the crucial word here, assemble this model railway controller so that it will be functional. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about model railwaymanship tools a little bit later on. The first tool I can highly recommend is a stripper. Now, I've used strippers for absolutely years. They are fantastic. I can highly recommend having one around, if you can afford it, that is. They really do make your life a lot more bearable when you're doing electronics. Some strippers are better than others, of course, at taking off the coverings of the wires here. So you just have to, use your experience and find out which are the best. So there we go. I'm also going to strip the two wires. In fact, I'm going to speed this up so that you can watch in fast motion. And once this is all together, we'll give it a try. So there you have it then, folks. The model railwayman's controller has been completed. On one end we have the track connector here, which plugs straight into the model railway, and then on the other end we have the mains plug here, which you can plug obviously straight into the wall. And then obviously, to make it safe for the trains, we have the diode here, which will change us from about 240 volts AC to a lot more volts on DC, which is exactly what we want. So I'm going to hook all this up now and we'll give our first model railwayman's model railway a little bit of a try. So as you can see, we are ready to go. I have my layout complete, my first layout built under model railwaymanship. Fantastic. We have a beautiful Southern 040, one of my favourite 040s. If you're thinking of becoming a model railwayman, you've got to get one. They're beautiful. The brand new controller is all hooked up. As you can see, the track clip is plugged in, and I've got it plugged into an extension lead, and all I've got to do is flick the switch on the wall and the locomotive should get its first ever run. So with that, I think we will give this a try, get it running, of course, on the new layout, and see what happens. Okay, here we go. Oh, no, 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 no. Right, we should have lights again now. Where is the loco? Oh, do you know what, folks? I think I've done my loco in. The wheels are all black and, oh, look at the, oh no, grandma's carpet. Ooh, there's black marks on the carpet, and one of the sleepers has melted. Yes, technical difficulties. Let's move on to the next step of mastering model railwaymanship. Number 2, sustenance. Now, all the things I'm going to show you today will be impossible unless you are fully sustained. And for that, I am going to show you some of my favourite model railwayman recipes. Now, don't think about sausage and bacon cooked on the firebox of a locomotive, because that is real railways, right? We're talking about model railwaymanship here, and model railways are inside the house where you have kitchens and all that other good stuff. So there's no limit really to what you can do. So here I have a menu, well, it's a recipe. Hang on. I think my head's stuck. Hang on, folks, one second. Sorry, could you just pop up and help me, please? My head's stuck again. One sec, there won't be long. This just happened a few times. I've got a bad neck. My head gets stuck. Help me, please. Could you just come in? Are you there? All right. It's just the head stuck. Can we help me now? Steady. No, watch it. Just watch it. Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1. Woo. All right. Thank you. Yeah, we're sorted now. Right. Sorry. So I've got the recipe here, and for this we obviously need to go down to the kitchen, so let's go down and I will show you the ingredients. Alright, so this dish I like to call the Model Railwayman's broth. It's a very, very simple dish. It consists of only 6 ingredients. One of them is water, incredibly simple. So we have water, plain flour, we have salt, we have a tomato, we have yogurt, and we have egg. And I'm going to show you what to do. So the very first step is going to be to boil your egg. Now, just as a little side note on this, a lot of the women that I've met seem to think that I'm incapable of boiling an egg. They don't think I could do such a thing. Well, I hope they're watching today because I'm about to prove them wrong. There we go. So the egg is in, and I'll turn the heat up now and bring that up to the boil. Okay, next step, we're going to add a small amount of salt. So I'm just going to really carefully... Ooh, God, that was hot. This is called Modelrailwayman's brine. It is supposed to be salty, so we want roughly 1 scoop of salt added to the egg, and then you'll find that that is beautifully seasoned. And then you're going to start to slowly add 1 slice at a time your thinly sliced tomatoes, and obviously let those cook. So my tomato made about 6 or 7 slices. Oh, God. Oh, sh**. There goes the chef's hat. Oh, God. Keep adding your slices of tomato. Of course, this will give your broth a little bit of flavour, of course. As you can see, it's just got this fantastic colour to it. Look at that. You've almost made cheese with that. It's the way, something about the way the egg and the salt mix together. It makes a sort of, almost like a cottage cheese. It's fantastic, really. Okay. A couple more ingredients then. We still have the yogurt and the flour to go. The thing is with the yogurt, I have salted caramel yogurt, which is not ideal. Really you want just some sort of plain yogurt, but that's not what I've got, so that's okay. Here what I'm doing is I'm adding 2 to 3, I'm going to go with 3 maybe, heaped spoonfuls of flour. I think that'll do. A little bit of extra fell in there, but not to worry. Okay, and keep mixing. Mix that in, and hopefully you'll notice that the mixture should start to thicken. This is one good broth, and you can tell already that this is definitely starting to thicken up. You just got all that goodness in there. Maybe I went a little overboard on the salt, maybe a little, but you want plenty of salt in there. Okay, finally then, you want your 1 spoon of Greek yogurt. It's quite a healthy spoon. There we are. Excellent. And with that, I reckon that is the end of the broth. Now this has got to come up to the boil. You want to make sure all your ingredients are well cooked. Got to try it. It's going to be good. Alright, so this is what we want. Oh my God. Okay, so that smells fantastic. It's bubbling up. Then I'm going to... Oh, would you look at that? Man. Yeah, this is definitely going to be... Look at that egg. Ooh. Right. Take a little bit of this into a dish, let it cool, and then I'm going to take a taste. Okay, here we go. My first taste of Model Railwayman's broth. Well, not my first taste. Obviously, I've made this many times. Oh God, yes. Dead easy to make, very quick, very cheap. Took all of 10 minutes to make. Ugh. Let's give this a try. Just look at the consistency there. That is a beautiful, beautiful broth. All right, here we go. The moment I've been looking forward to. Try and get a nice piece with all the goodness in there. Oh, yes, there we go. You see that? Oh, that tomato and the egg. That's just going to go so well together. All right. Oh God, that is fantastic. Oh, it started raining. I can't wait to finish the broth. So there you have it, folks. The Model Railwayman's broth. Make it at home and tell me what you think. Let's move on. Number 3, tools. A model railwayman is nothing without tools, and obviously in this hobby you will come across an awful lot of tools. Some of them you need, some of them you don't. Now, as I say, there are hundreds and hundreds out there. Many of them are useful. I can't possibly cover all of those today, so I have picked just 3 tools that you really do need, in my opinion, in order to become a budding practitioner of model railwaymanship. So let's take a close look at some of these and evaluate their uses. Alright, so tool number 1 is... oh goodness, that was an energetic entrance. It is, of course, the whisk. Now, the whisk is a staple in the culinary world, but I also intend to make it a staple in the world of model railwaymanship as well. Now, one thing that really gets me when I'm working is that I put screwdrivers and other tools down and I can't remember where I've put them. I'm an absolute bugger for it. I'm a real bugger for it, I am. I'm an absolute bugger for it. I'm a real bugger for it, I am. And the next time you need to use those tools, you can't find them. They're not there. So all you do is you keep a whisk to hand, and when you finish with a screwdriver, you just have to remember to just poke it into the whisk, and the whisk will grip very, very tightly onto your tool, whether it's a screwdriver, a hammer, some pliers, whatever. It will grip the tool, and it serves as a bit of a tool hub. So you just need a tool, go for your whisk, and you can pull out whichever tool you need. It's an incredibly handy tool to have. So that is the whisk. The whisk. The next tool is this. The starfish. It can be real, as this one is, or it can be ornamental. Now, the starfish is absolutely essential. In the world of model railwaymanship, the starfish is a unit of measurement, and let me tell you, it was an absolute godsend when I was setting up the O-gauge layout. When installing those shelves, I knew how many starfishes, or starfy, each shelf was, and it made installing them so much easier. But you can get multiple units of measurement out of a starfish. Obviously, you have the starfish length, which is about this, but then you have the distance between each starfish leg as well, which is also another really, really useful unit of measurement. Absolutely fantastic. The starfish. The starfish. Finally then, tool number 3, this one's really less of a tool and more of an aid, but still absolutely essential nonetheless. It is a framed photograph of a chocolate pudding. Now, when I'm working, you know, sometimes it can all just get on top of you. There can be so many parts that you're trying to sort of put in place. You can get frustrated, you can get confused, you can just become quite distressed throughout the whole thing. Now, if you've got something nice to look at on the walls like this, all you have to do is catch sight of that during your darkest hour, and you will feel that calming influence. It will just bring you right back down, it will relax you, and that in its way will help you to actually complete your task. So as I say, it's not a tool. This is not actually going to physically help you in any task, although it could. I mean, the width of the frame there could be adapted into a new unit of measurement, but if you've got a starfish, that becomes unnecessary. But I would highly recommend having something nice. Well, I can recommend the chocolate pudding, actually. But anything nice like that, just on the walls, whatever floats your boat, really. I mean, keep it clean, obviously, in case you have visitors. But really, generally speaking, whatever floats your boat is absolutely fine. It should be, unless you've got strange tastes. But we won't get into that. The framed photograph of a chocolate pudding. And that leads us very nicely on to today's sponsor, which is Slackman's. So we will carry on with the 2020 guide to model railwaymanship after this short commercial break.
Introducing Slackman's Nasty Crisps for the model railwayman. Our crisps are so nasty and overpriced, you'll never want to spend money on snacks again. Instead, you can focus your funds on what's important. Your model puffy trains.
Those crisps were absolutely vile. Now
So go ahead.
No, I don't want any more.
Give Slackman's a try and buy the last bag of crisps you'll ever need.
Welcome back, folks, to the 2020 guide to model railwaymanship. Before the break, we took a look at the first 3 things you need in order to become a true practitioner of model railwaymanship. Now then, we come to number 4, and that is an eye for detail. Now, in this hobby, there are an awful lot of products, some of them bad and of course a lot of them good. In order to tell the good from the bad, you obviously need a good eye for detail, and to demonstrate that, I have set up a little bit of an investigation for us. I have ordered 2 wagons, and I've arranged that one of them is going to be a genuine wagon and the other one is going to be counterfeit. Our job in this exercise is to try to determine which wagon is the counterfeit one. So here we have wagon A. This is the Royal Leamington Spa wagon by Bachmann, so that's the first wagon. The second wagon is also a Bachmann one. It is this, a 5-plank banana wagon. At this point, I have no idea which is the genuine wagon and which is not. I've not been told, so I will be going into this blind as well. So let's get these out and try to figure out which one is real and which one is not. Okay, so the first aspect I'm going to address is, of course, the packaging. Now, a lot of people scoff at me for taking a close look at packaging, but you must analyse your packaging in minutest detail, otherwise you could miss very important information. Oh, sorry about that. One vital aspect of model railwaymanship is, of course, passion. I haven't talked about that, but yeah, it's necessary. Anyway, what do I mean? Well, there are quite a few features of these two pieces of packaging which arouse my suspicions. First of all, as you can see, the Royal Leamington Spa wagon at the top here is in quite old, tatty packaging. It's outdated. That arouses my suspicions. As you can see, the Great Western Banana wagon looks much more modern, so already we have a bit of a difference there. The Leamington wagon has a price tag here of £6, which is obviously deeply suspicious for a Bachmann wagon. That price is clearly designed to entice a potential buyer, but because it's so cheap, you'd have to ask the question, why? The banana wagon is very different. Of course, there is no price to speak of there, which is a better indication. This is not trying to get you to buy it. It's standing back. It's saying, if you want to buy the Great Western Banana wagon, you absolutely can. If not, no problem. Choose something else. We don't mind. It's not trying to sell itself too heavily. Let's take a look at the ends of the boxes then. We'll start with the Leamington Spa one. As you can see, this says a 7-plank wagon, Royal Leamington Spa. Again, alarm bells are ringing there. Spas have nothing to do with wagons, of course. Spas are what women tend to visit. I don't know exactly what goes on there, but something to do with bathing and sort of self-pleasuring, that sort of thing. Certainly nothing to do with railways. So, highly suspicious stuff. Conversely, the banana wagon, if we take a look at this, you can see that this is a 5-plank wagon. J. Skinner, I mean the name Skinner there obviously does relate to bananas. It makes sense, no suspicions aroused there. So already, having not even opened the boxes yet, I'm getting a bit of a suspicious vibe towards the 7-planker here. But the 5-planker for me so far is looking good. Right, let's get some of these out then. Let's take out the Royal Leamington Spa wagon, take a look at this one. Yeah, I must say, already highly suspicious of this wagon. So far, if I had to guess, I would say this is definitely the fake. So there it is, take a look at that. We will look at the details in just a second. It's not a bad looking wagon, don't get me wrong, but at the moment I'm going to need some convincing if I'm going to choose this as the genuine wagon. Okay, next up then, the Great Western 5-plank banana wagon. Let's take a look at this one. Let's take this out. I must say, simpler packaging. I mean, they're not going to any effort. It seems to prove that this is a real wagon. It's just going without saying. Let's take this out. Already, it's got a lot of weight to it. I can tell this is a much heftier wagon. Oh, it's even got an authentic smell. Did the Royal Spa one? You see, there's no smell whatsoever from the Spa wagon. No authentic smell. Yeah, it's got to be this one, hasn't it? Already, we haven't even looked up close yet. Yeah, so far I'm getting the best vibes from the banana van. So let's take a close look at these two wagons then and see if we can determine once and for all which one is real and which one is counterfeit. Alright, so there we have it then, both wagons up close and personal for you, and I've now had a chance to look at these properly. Now, don't get me wrong, both of these wagons do seem absolutely fine. I think they're both going to be perfectly usable on your model railway. However, of course, we do have a job to do. We have to identify the counterfeit. And I do think, beyond the points we've already made, really, I do think there are several more indicators as to which is the fake wagon and which is the real one. So first of all, we'll talk about weights. The 5-plank Great Western wagon is very heavy indeed at 146 grams. That is a really good weight for a model railway wagon, particularly just a 5-planker. The 7-plank Spa wagon, as you can see here, is a larger wagon, but it weighs less. This one weighs in at just 29 grams. Now, that is a very big difference for two wagons which aren't that different in size. So, once again, that is a clear indicator, I would say. There are also massive differences in the paintwork. If we look at the Royal Leamington Spa paintwork, as I say, nothing wrong with the application, but there are issues. You can see it says gas company there, gas company. What has a spa? You've got to ask these questions. Just think to yourself, what has a spa got to do with a gas company? Very, very suspicious. With the banana wagon, there's nothing suspicious like that. As you can see, we know it's a Great Western banana wagon, and sure enough, the only thing it says on there is GWR, and that is perfectly well applied as well, which is fantastic. Next then, we talk about the detailing. As you can see, both wagons are beautifully detailed. If we take a look at the Royal Leamington Spa, you can see we do have buffers. They're not sprung buffers though, I must say, but there are 4 of them. They're very, very small. The 5-planker has only 2 buffers, as you can see, but despite not being as numerous as on the counterfeit wagon, you can see that they are quite a lot larger, which is excellent. You get more for your money, and they are indeed sprung. If I just reach in and spring this, yes, you can see we do have a degree of movement there on those buffers, which is a quality feature that you wouldn't expect from a counterfeit wagon. Let's just say that and leave it there. Finally then, we'll talk about the actual accuracy and realism. As you can see, the Royal Leamington Spa wagon looks perfectly clean and pristine. To me, that isn't particularly realistic. I mean, these wagons should have been outside in their lives. You know, they get dirty, they get weathered. That is not convincing me, unfortunately. Looking at the Great Western 5-plank banana wagon though, you can see that this looks much, much more realistic. This, I would believe, has been out working. You know, there is little patches of brown on it, there's clearly a little bit of dirt. Yeah, this looks like it has been out, and it looks like it's had a life of labour, doesn't it? So I think that just about finishes it off. There is no doubt in my mind that the Great Western 5-planker is the genuine wagon, and the fake wagon here is the 7-planker. They were very close, but obviously as a true model railwayman, I spotted the differences. However, I mean, that was very easy for me, but a lot of you guys watching may not be, you know, gifted model railwaymen who have been initiated into this wonderful organisation. So you guys let me know, could you tell which one was the fake and which one was the real wagon? Let me know which one you thought was real or fake up in the top corner there. And with that, I think that just about does it. Let's move on. Number 5, initiation. Congratulations, if you have everything mentioned in this video in place, then if you want to, you are now free to be initiated as a master of model railwaymanship. And you can conduct the ceremony at home if you'd like. Now, what you need is a sacrifice, of course, and, well, the first sacrifice is really a measure of your participation as a budding, as a sort of, what would we call it? Perhaps an apprentice model railwayman, yes. And for that we need 3 oily rags. Here's just one. You need 3 of these. One oily rag takes around 3 months to procure, so to have 3, obviously we're talking around 9 months. That is a good training window. You also need something more model railway related to burn as a sacrifice. Now, I wouldn't recommend using anything valuable. I'm just going to use this old Bachmann box, but you can use anything with next to no value, so maybe, I don't know, the Helgen saddle tank, something like that. So you need your 3 oily rags to prove that you're dedicated, and an item of model railway merchandise. You take it out into the garden and I will show you what to do, although I'm sure you can guess. So there is my initiation vessel. It is a large and obviously slightly dirty flower pot. And now I am going to prepare for my ceremony. So in goes the very first rag. This represents my dedication to model railwaymanship. The second represents my true passion for the world of model trains. And the third rag represents my vow of reverence towards all model railwaymen. I now anoint the rags with my cleaning fluid of choice, a drop of IPA, and I bring about the flames using this very cool taser. And with a small prayer to the model railway gods Hornby, Bachmann, Helgen, Dapol, Oxford and Hattons, I present them my gift, and thus the initiation has begun. And if the gift has been gratefully received, I should now feel the gift of model railwaymanship bear down upon me. I think I do. The gift appears to have been accepted. The flames seem to have claimed it. And I've got a slightly warm feeling inside me. And there's a bit of a problem. I think the flower pot vessel is beginning to burn. Oh. Well, I think we can consider that an overwhelming success. Not only did the model railway gods accept my gift, they also accepted the vessel too, which wasn't offered, but I guess that's fine. And from all of us here at Sam'sTrains Industries, we hope you enjoyed this guide. And if you too would like to take part and become a budding model railwayman, you can for a very reasonable fee. Thank you for watching, have a blessed day, and I will see you all very soon. Farewell.